Alright, welcome to another haul video. This is basically my haul and thoughts for Tampa Bay Comic Con 2025. A very interesting con per se. First start out, the drive down there and back was perfectly fine. No issues there. I did have a slight issue with parking. I'm not going to go much into it because it's a source of embarrassment. I read and not get into it. Anyways, got to the convention center, no problem. Walked there, just a few blocks away. I basically just walked in the door, no line. Because I got there at the time when the doors opened for the building. Not the vendor center herself. I went in, got tick. I was no line to get this. Though I did accidentally bring up the, believe it or not, I brought up the wrong ticket. Yeah, I brought up the Sunday pass by mistake. Yeah. I thought that was kind of weird. That was a goof on my part, so I fixed it and brought up the correct one. Yep, I did. So, what did I get signed, and what did I get? So, this here I got signed by Abby Trott. Yep, first person I ever got signed this. And from what I read online, she kind of confirmed this. This was her very first anime she appeared in. And according to her, Netflix very rarely puts out DVDs of anime. Like, here's the weird thing when it comes to this series. Like, the first season you can find DVD no problem, but seasons 2 through 4? Nope. Not really. Do not know the reason for it. It's just not available on DVD. I haven't seen any per se. I haven't seen copies. But, yeah. There she is right there. Abby Trott. She plays Veronica Leonis. And this is something interesting though. So, the other two I paid for the photographs. This one I did not. This one I got for free. And there she is. There's Abby Trott. Yes, she wears a mask. But it was her choice. And she was very happy to see my Nezuko plushie. Alright, the other two I got some voice actors. This one I got here from Trina Nishimura. She was very happy to see this. She, even she agrees that this should be season 2 of this one. Now, I did get a picture with her. Let's see. There we go. Right there. There you go. That's a picture of Trina Nishimura. Yep. Yeah. And she didn't realize this, but apparently Ian Sinclair is in this because he voices the older brother of the red-haired girl who appears here. And because I know the voices really well, we had there was an Indian character which I point out to her is voiced by Christopher Sabat, which she could probably buy that. And the wife voiced by Lucy Christian. Yep. And I did show Abby my favorite character she voiced. She's very happy with it. She had no problem with it at all. This one here, I got this signed by Mallory Roddick. Here she voiced the character Solution. Yep. And got her the list, and she said, good choices. And there she is, and she was so happy to see my Farine plushie. Yep. Now, I did talk to her about the fact that, well, we have next year Farine Season 2 and Mushoku Tensei Jobless Incarnation Season 3 coming next year. She's looking forward to that. I did ask her how she felt about her character being revealed to be the grandmother of Rudius' first wife. She was very supportive of that. Very supportive. And here's a fun fact about Mallory you may not know. Did you know she actually is the voice of 3 elves? Farine, Elsa from Mushoku Tensei Jobless Incarnation, and High Elf Archer. Even she agrees, basically, there should be a Season 3 for Goblin Slayer. And, like, I even mentioned to her, because I know this voice really well, the princess who appeared in Season 2 was definitely Monica Real. I can tell by the voice. Except she wasn't credited as that. I'm not sure why, but That's kind of how it is. But now, when I got these, now, Trina was late. Yeah, she was late. Traffic in Tampa was terrible. Abby got to her, not much issue. Mallory, I got to her after I had some lunch finally. So, I just walked her. It was like zero wait, walked table, chatted her for a bit, and left. I gotta say, she's very pretty. Yes, Mallory is very pretty, so is Abby. Abby, of course, basically is looking forward to Demon Slayer, the Infinite Train movie. And, of course, I did tell her, of course, she did preach the fact that I wear the Dawn Adventure. She was very preached about that. So, now, for the stuff I got signed for other stuff, now, for Common Critters, I got all but 3 I actually wanted to get signed. Jimmy Palman Connor, could not find him at all. So I'm going to go back yesterday. Will Conrad, I actually forgot I had something from him signed, but he was still talking to somebody, so I decided to leave around 4:30 because I was there long enough. So this one here, I got this signed by Amy Chu. This one here, I got signed by Rod Reese, who's the colorist of this one. Yep, the colorist. We actually chatted a little bit about New Mutants. I did talk to him about various different several New Mutants. I mean, we did talk a little while about the X-Men movie, which was quite nice. This I got signed by Mike McCone. He actually one of the stories in issue 151 for Super. And there he is. This one got signed by Colleen Doran. And she was very appreciative about this in. And I even asked this because she did work on this comic. Because did you know that she was one of the artists for Sandman? Definitely true. She enjoyed her time working on Sandman. The whole thing of the character ownership type of thing when it comes to Sandman, that part was definitely true. I did ask about that. I did tell her I also enjoyed Visible Woman that she worked on the artwork for. And I love a lot of her artwork. I even thanked her for the autograph. Now, I should point out only one of these I did have to pay. The other ones didn't have to pay at all, which was kind of surprising. They didn't ask me for money, but this one did. Infinity War. Signed by Jim Starlin. Yep, the legendary Jim Starlin. I talked to the guy. We'll talk about Dreadstar a little bit. Like, is this the character? It was the series published back in the 80s. Yep, and Jim is basically putting out he just put out a brand new continuation of that series out recently. So he did point out some interesting little fun facts about Infinity War Endgame. The fact that Infinity War took inspiration from Thanos' Quest and, of course, Infinity Gauntlets. And the Scarecrow thing is from this book. And so here's something you may not know about. There's a famous line from Thanos in Infinity War where he had this whole thing of killing half the universe with a single snap. You're probably thinking, is that from Infinity Gauntlet? No, that's actually from Silver Surfer. Yeah, he actually pointed it out to me. He was very impressed with I did ask him about Drax and more. He didn't say anything about them. But from what I could tell, he really loved what they did with Thanos. He loved it. I did not ask him about his cameo from Endgame. I did tell him I had met one artist he's worked with, and that was Bernie Rice. And apparently he did work on a few books. I thought it was just basically The Cult. So they also worked on Punch POV and a couple of books. I wasn't really familiar with it at all. But Jim Starlin, great guy to talk to. Like, there's a picture of him with a goatee. I saw him, nothing up here. He just has basically like the partial goatee. This one here I got signed by G. Willow Wilson. Oh yeah, G. Willow Wilson. So she's very appreciative of the fact I actually bought every single one of these books. She was very appreciative about that. I did ask her this because I figured she'd be the best person to ask this question. So I asked her, what did she think of the live action Comic Con? Excuse me. I figured I asked her because she created the character. She told me this. She loved it. She actually met the actress who played her. The fact that that according to her, the actress had a lot of respect for the character. So Amy Chu, with her, we talked a little about apparently, according to her, now the book Red Sonja, Vampirella, Betty, and Veronica wasn't all that fun for her to work on. That's according to her. And apparently Volume 2 was missing for the trade paperbacks. I do own Volume 1. It's someplace around here. So, the other book I got signed was Phantom Stranger from Dan DiDio. And there he is. Now, I did ask him this question because I figured he's the best person to ask. Why did he stop doing the book? Well, the reason he said he did that was because his co-publishership gave him not much time. So he had to give the book at the J. Matthias. The whole thing is bringing like more supernatural stuff. We actually did briefly talk about Infinite Frontier number 0, which Phantom Stranger died. We did bring up that. I did tell him that Kevin McGuire was actually happy with the Countdown to Crisis one shot, and he didn't necessarily be mad at me about that, but he did appreciate the fact that I did tell him that. Yes. Oh. Let's see. I did see there Sam Jones. I'm thinking, who's Sam Jones? Flash Gordon from the 1982 movie, who apparently was there because, well, they're pushing the Flash Gordon comic book, which I really wish I got my hands on the thing. I'm probably going to go there. When I go there Sunday, I might buy a copy. So, now we're on the stuff I purchased. What did I buy there? First, the books. I got, and I was very surprised to see they had this. We have the Doctor Who Target Storybook, which is pretty much, I got this for like $12. It is, from what I can tell anyways, it says 15 new adventures featuring writers and stars from hits TV show. I'm like, that's awesome. I've never purchased I purchased a few Doctor Who books in the past. I read a load of it. I don't really remember them very much at all, but yeah, I probably will get a chance to review this when I get a chance to read it. I also got Annihilation Scourge. Very happy to get this because I think this actually is the last Matthew Rosberg book I have left to read from Marvel that I can think of, because I think this might be like the only one I can think of that's left. Yes. And I also got the first trade for the last known book for Dial H for Hero. This was, I think, the third series for this one. Those of you not familiar with Dial H for Hero, this is based upon an old concept that debuted back in the late 50s, early 60s, where a guy puts on a dial and he gets powers. Of course, they brought it back in 52, which didn't last very long, and then, of course, they brought it back recently for Wonder Comics. And the last thing I got, and this is a kind of heavy thing. I got one of these in a while, so I figured, okay, get one. I got a figure by Iron Zone Goon from Overlord. Not gonna mention how I paid for it because basically that's none of your business. So here he is. And this thing is heavy. This is by far my heaviest figure I have ever purchased. Because the last figure I purchased about it was cost the same much as this, was much more lighter. This is heavy. Really heavy. So, I am planning on back to Comic-Con on a couple days. I'm going today. Mainly because I want to get a autograph from Bryce Probercook. Yep. I'm going to try to get one from him. I am going to try to find if they're there because I couldn't find them today because I went to where the app said that Jim Pine were, which was 917. I went to the spot, They were not there. I just couldn't find them at all. I probably should have asked. So I'll check on Sunday if they're going to be there. I hope they are. I am also hoping to get an autograph with a Conrad. Maybe I also buy a tray for Flash Gordon because I really want to buy that. I don't think I'm buying their figure tomorrow per se. Not tomorrow, Sunday. I think I might buy more trades? Maybe not. I don't think I am going to buy more trades. With the exception of the Flash Gordon, I'll probably buy that. But yeah, all in all, it was actually a pretty interesting haul. Comic-Con. I got the voice actors who were there today. I got everybody I wanted, no problem. There was no issue with it. Just the comic creators, all but 3. In the case of... Now, what about the other stuff they were selling? They were selling swords. Just some of the stuff, I was trying to make sure I kept a balanced budget when I went there. So, I'm not going to say how much I spent overall because that's personal. I'm going to say this. It's not a lot I spent. One of the reasons why I didn't spend a lot of money as much as you probably would think I would is because lately I haven't worked a lot. And that's not entirely my fault per se, because some of my coworkers at my work have got some of their hours cut for seemingly no reason at all. Heck, there's even a manager who got his hours cut. Yes, I'm not kidding about that. A manager. One of my store managers got his hours cut. I'm a crew trainer. You should leave my hours alone. Nope, they said I cut my hours. Like this particular week, I'm only working 2 freaking days because they gave me a whole week off for no reason. Like, they came to work yesterday. Nope. Never called me in. I don't know if I have work tomorrow. I don't think I work Sunday, and I am on call for Monday, so who knows. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. I probably see you all tomorrow. I got some anime reviews tomorrow, and I got some Super Sentai to discuss. Okay, next video.